Some history facts are boring. These aren't. From exploding whales to emperors who made their horses into priests, here are the history facts you'll never forget once you hear them. 1. A pope once dug up his predecessor to put him on trial. In 897, Pope Stephen VI had the corpse of Pope Formosus exhumed, dressed in papal robes, and placed on trial. Yes, a literal corpse was tried in court. Unsurprisingly, he was found guilty. His body was thrown into the Tiber River. 2. The Dancing Plague of 1518. In Strasbourg, France, dozens of people suddenly began dancing non-stop. Some danced for days, and a few actually dropped dead from exhaustion. Historians still don't fully agree on what caused it. Mass hysteria? Ergot poisoning? Nobody knows. 3. The deadliest war in history that you've never heard of. The Taiping Rebellion in 19th century China led to the deaths of over 20 million people, more than World War I. It was led by a man who believed he was the younger brother of Jesus Christ. 4. Cleopatra lived closer to the moon landing than the pyramids. The Great Pyramid of Giza was built around 2560 BCE. Cleopatra ruled Egypt around 30 BCE. That's over 2,000 years later, and only about 2,000 years before today. 5. A whale carcass once exploded in a town square. In 1970, a beached whale in Oregon was packed with dynamite in an effort to dispose of it. When it exploded, chunks of rotting whale meat flew over a quarter mile, damaging cars and traumatizing onlookers. Nature found a way. 6. The Great Emu War. In 1932, Australia declared war on emus. Yes, the flightless birds. Farmers were struggling with crop damage, so soldiers were deployed. The emus outran the bullets, and after thousands of rounds and multiple failed tactics, the military gave up. 7. A man survived. Both atomic bombs. Tsutomu Yamaguchi was in Hiroshima on a business trip when the first bomb dropped. He survived, went home to Nagasaki, and was there when the second bomb fell. He lived into his 90s. Possibly the unluckiest and luckiest man alive. 8. Victorian people sent each other photos of their dead relatives. In the 1800s, it was common to photograph deceased loved ones, often posed to look alive. These memento mori photos were a way to grieve and remember. Today, they're haunting reminders of how people coped with death. 9. Emperor Nero competed in the Olympics and still lost. Nero bribed Olympic officials to let him compete in chariot racing. He fell out of his chariot during the race and still declared himself the winner. The Greeks weren't impressed. 10. Rasputin's death took way too long. The Russian mystic Grigory Rasputin was poisoned, shot, stabbed, beaten, and finally drowned. Accounts vary, but all agree he took an incredible amount of killing. The guy just wouldn't die. 11. A chicken lived without a head for 18 months. In 1945, a farmer in Colorado chopped off a chicken's head and it didn't die. Mike the headless chicken lived for 18 months, fed with a dropper. He even toured the country. 12. Julius Caesar was stabbed 23 times, and only one was fatal. When Caesar was assassinated in 44 BCE, he was stabbed 23 times by senators, but most of the wounds weren't fatal. One hit to the chest likely did him in. Talk about overkill. 13. The Eiffel Tower can grow over 6 inches in summer. Because it's made of iron, the Eiffel Tower expands in the heat and contracts in cold. On hot days, it can grow more than 6 inches taller. A fun fact for your next trip to Paris. 14. Napoleon was once attacked by a horde of bunnies. Napoleon arranged a rabbit hunt for his men. But when hundreds of rabbits were released from cages, they charged at the soldiers having been fed and tamed. Napoleon fled as the bunnies swarmed. 15. The shortest war in history lasted 38 minutes. In 1896, Britain went to war with the Sultanate of Zanzibar. After less than an hour of shelling, Zanzibar surrendered. The whole war lasted 38 minutes. Blink, and you'd miss it. Conclusion. History is weirder than fiction. These stories stick with us not just because they're bizarre, but because they remind us how endlessly strange and fascinating humanity can be. And that's a fact you won't forget.